Hey guys, welcome to checkpoint 6. For this checkpoint, you are going to be starting to make your outline for the opinion editorial that you are going to be writing about genocide in the world today, alright? Our essential question is up at the top here. It still says, how should the world respond to genocides occurring today? So that means your goal in your opinion editorial is you should be deciding, how do you think we as the world, we as people, should respond to genocides that are occurring today? So we're going to take the lessons that we've learned from other genocides like the Holocaust and the Armenian genocide, and then the genocide that you studied in checkpoint 5, and you're going to be deciding what you think is the proper response for the rest of the world when we have a genocide going on. Do you think, for example, that the world should help out? Do you think government should go to other countries and help out with, military? Or do you think the world should kind of mind their own business, stay to themselves, and let the other countries deal with it? So those are two potential options that you could explore in there. All right, so our directions are up at the top. They are: place your outline for your genocide opinion editorial in this document. You must include an argumentative claim, evidence to support your claim, and counterclaims. Remember, a couple checkpoints back, you worked on counterclaims where you worked on seeing things from the other perspective. Now remember, for an outline, we are not focusing on writing the whole paper here. But you are starting to plan out what evidence you're going to use, what key points you're going to make, and where you're going to do that. So we kind of have it set up for you here into multiple sections that you're going to have, where you are going to be filling in those spaces with information that you've already chosen, that are looked at from old checkpoints to help you write this paper. So when it comes to actually filling out the paragraphs, you're going to have everything ready to go. I want to point your attention to this awesome resource right here with sentence starters. So if we click on that, you're going to get all these different sentence starters and transition words that are going on in here. So definitely a good resource to use. Look through this. Go ahead and copy and paste several of these. You have introducing what an author says, like introducing a quote. These blue ones are good for your counterclaims. Here, green is going to be good for starting a quotation as well and using some proof in there. And there's some good examples in here on how to use those. If you copy and paste those, that's not plagiarism because you're still filling it in with your own information. So make sure you are erasing anything that doesn't need to be there, like underlining an X, things like that. Okay. Some good transition words down at the bottom as well. Okay, back to the outline now. So your outline in here is going to include several pieces of information. So there's some nice examples over here on the left of some things that you should suggest. So you could start off with, and I'll just put in some of this information to get you an idea of where to go. If we want to go for the opening, our background information, our introduction claim paragraph, we want to definitely explain what a genocide is. Explain the Armenian genocide or the Holocaust as an example. Okay, so that's something that people are a little more familiar with that you can use. Good way to transition this and explain that genocides are still happening today, and then make your claim about what you think countries should be doing to respond to these current genocides. All right, so let's dive in there and take a look at that. All right, so if I would like to start putting some background information in there, I'm just going to summarize. I'm not necessarily going to write out full sentences here for some of the background information. We're just kind of going to brainstorm at this point. So I'm going to put down some thoughts about genocide. I'm going to say genocide is a planned out, extermination of a specific group of people. Okay, you can use your definition from your word journal here. Okay, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna explain the Holocaust is an example of this. Of a genocide because it was planned out by the Nazis against the Jews. And I'm going to say things like genocides still happen today around the world. Okay, so there I have some background information that I'm going to come back later, and when I write my rough draft, I can use that to start off my paragraph. Other things you can do too, of course, like we did for the totalitarianism one, you can use what it would be a really good one here is to use like the set the scene, where you're kind of like getting your reader to imagine what it would be like if you were maybe a victim of the Holocaust or one of these genocides. Okay, down to my argumentative claim, I'm going to put down, I think the world should do blank when there's a genocide happening. You're going to fill in that blank, of course, with what you think should be done. So that they can be stopped quickly and peacefully. Okay. All right. So I would say, the world should get involved. Okay. In my first section now, the first section is going to be where you're starting to explain your argumentative claim. Topic sentence that tells the reader your first reason to support your claim, and includes short pieces of evidence, reasons, and quotes. So this is going to be information from your other checkpoints. So let's say if I wanted to use the Rwandan genocide as an example, some of you researched that in checkpoint 5, I would say something like, if other countries get involved, genocides can stop much faster. Okay, so maybe I'm going to find a piece of evidence that says, it might not directly say that countries getting involved help stop genocides faster, but we could kind of think the other way about how, well, nobody intervened in the Rwandan genocide, so that would explain how maybe if someone got involved, things would get taken care of much faster. Okay, so I don't have a piece of evidence yet, but I would search through my documents, maybe from checkpoint 5, and use a quote from there that would help. Now, once you get down to your counterclaim, that's when you're going to be responding to this. So if my topic sentence is that other countries getting involved stops genocides faster, your counterclaim is going to be the opposite of that. Why would someone think the other way? So your counterclaim might be, some people might say that not getting involved is the better way to respond. Okay, so there's our counterclaim that says that other people, this is the other opinion that people might have, not getting involved might be the better way to respond. You could come up with so many reasons for that. Maybe it's unnecessarily waste of life or resources. It's not our problem because it's happening in another country. So those are those things. Fill it out with the closing section, restating what you want your reader to walk away with, restate your claim in different words, and describe why this topic is important. Okay, and down below we have the rubrics that show what you're going to be scored on. So think about where you're going to be landing on those rubrics once you submit this and once you start turning in your paper. All right, there you go. Best of luck, and of course, email your teachers with any questions that you have about this checkpoint.